All right, guys, 1212 portal has opened up. It's going till 1221, and we are in the year of 2021. So I guess it makes it this year the numerology kind of interesting. Do we have to know what any of that means? Do we have to be prepared and do something special during a portal opening, during this December month? December always has some big energy in it. What I want to talk about today is how we really deal with these high energy times, and if we really do need to know about the astrology and stuff. And what I'm going to say is, well, before I let you know what I'm going to say, my name's Rebecca Abraxas. Thanks for being here. We're remembering our greatness together here. I love doing light language, sound healing. I love just giving messages about awakening and ascension here. So if you could use support in these areas, just go to my website and you'll see lots of ways to get supported there. All right, so what do I think about high energy times? Portals, sun flares, eclipses. Well, what I think is that it's a good time to live with awareness. I don't know if we really need to know about all the ins and outs of these high energy times. Do we need to know that they're happening? Do we need to know the topics that they're relating to? I really don't think so. If you're willing to live from awareness, if you're willing to live from consciousness instead of anti-consciousness, then there's no problem. You know, today I'm feeling a little tired. Yes, last night I was like exhausted, and I just had like 8 hours of sleep, and I'm like, why should I feel exhausted? But I'm willing to live with this consciousness around this. I'm aware what I'm feeling, and I could just ask some questions around it, like, what is this? Body, what do you want right now? What would feel good in our day? What do we want to be, know, and do right now? If we're willing to live with questions like this, we have our awareness. And it might be fun to know all the stories about why you might be feeling this way. But isn't that just kind of another game of the ego? Like in our awakening and ascension and spiritual life and journey, there's an ego there too. Um, and if you're going to reach your awakening and ascension energies, and you're going to enlighten yourself, and you're going to really live in ascended energy, we got to let go of the stories. Because when we're hooked into the stories, any story, there's a part of our ego that's really active and alive. Okay? And to really truly ascend in these bodies, we let go of the story. We let go of the form and structure as much as we can. So while it is a prominent time of high energy, there really is always a time of high energy. Maybe a portal's open, maybe the Solfeggio tone's high, maybe there's always going to be something shifting right now. We're in the Great Awakening. Okay, every day there's going to be an opportunity to raise your vibration, whether there is a big event or not. Sometimes we're like, well, why do I feel tired? Why do I feel depressed? Instead of asking why, let's ask the question, what? What is this? And what do I want to be, know, and do right now? These are really the only two questions you really need. The why is staying in that ego story and staying in a cause and effect reality, which is in a lower consciousness, lower dimension. So let go of the why and just ask, what is this? How can I live my best life today? What does my body really crave and desire and want? And what would support my body and being right now? These are the questions to live with. Every day for the rest of our lives right now, in this time in history, is going to be a high energy time. So get used to living in awareness and living in high consciousness, a higher consciousness. instead of anti-consciousness. So what do I mean by anti-consciousness? Anti-consciousness is, okay, so I'm feeling tired today. I'm going to ignore that and just go put the happy face sticker on the empty gas tank and just go full force because I can't even pay attention to this. That's anti-consciousness. You're aware of something, but you're not going to pay attention to it. You're conscious of something, but you're going to go against it. That's anti-consciousness. Unconsciousness is just, you're just ignoring all the signs. You're not even ignoring, you're not even paying attention. So there's unconsciousness, there's anti-consciousness, and there's consciousness. Now, if you are on the trajectory of remembering your greatness, of awakening, of living your ascension in these bodies, and you're really feeling like you're here to give that energy to the planet, you're going to want to stop living from anti-consciousness and live from consciousness. And that means that we don't just get aware on high energy times when portals are open or eclipses are happening, okay? You know, perhaps that's when you're willing to feel the contrast the most. But would you be willing to really take a look at each day the energy you're bringing to the day? Each day what your body is truly asking for. So if you're willing to have your awareness every day, and if you're willing to live from consciousness every day, it really doesn't matter what's happening with the moon or the eclipses or the portals or the high energy, because like you're just with yourself every day. You're with your energy every day. You're with your body. And so you will just be, do, and know what's required for the day. And it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, it's fun to know those stories, and I know YouTube has tons of people that are into channeling and knowing all this astrology, and we get really into, I've watched myself just get really into that story, what's happening. But you might as well be watching primetime TV, because it's the same thing. It's the same story. It's the same dopamine addiction we have to the story, to being a victim of an energy, to being, to choosing unawareness and that someone knows more than I do, kind of thing. You know all you need to know if you're willing to have your awareness and live from consciousness. So while I play in the fields of some of these stories, you know, I have videos about the Lion Gate portal and about, you know, the solstice last year. I tapped into all those. They're fun to play with. I think my thing's going low enough. It's fun to play in those stories. But if we're really going toward consciousness and going toward the light, it's time to unhook from those stories. Even spiritual, energetic stories. We have all we need if we're willing to live from awareness, question, and possibility. So this is the way it goes. It's a little triangle that I like to work with. I call it the creation triangle. And these three things I got from the work of Access Consciousness. You make a choice of how you want to live your life. I'm making a choice to wake up and live my ascension in this body this lifetime. I'm choosing that. Then you have awareness, and you say, okay, I'm going to live by awareness, and whatever comes my way, I'm going to be aware of, and then you follow the breadcrumbs that awareness is giving you. And then down here is possibilities. If you're willing to have your awareness, then all these possibilities show up. Now, the thing that kind of gets us is like when we go into like, what's the story, what's happening, is we start to feel really intense feelings, right? I have a lot of videos on this channel about ascension symptoms: depression, dizziness, hot flashes, exhaustion, depression. These are all signs of ascension symptoms. It's basically the body and being learning how to hold higher frequencies. And a lot of times we're like, we go through some really hard times, and it's so seductive to be like, whether we're going on to WebMD or going on to the astrologer's site or going into whatever it is, it's so seductive to like go into someone telling us what's wrong with us. And in reality, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. What would it take for you just to tune into yourself, your own knowing, and just listen to the awareness, and then take care of yourself from what that awareness is telling you. So today, I have a real habit of doing this myself. Of look, what's wrong with me? What's happening in the ether? Why do I feel this way? I have a real habit of that too. But instead, like, I could just say, I just feel kind of lower energy. I just feel kind of tired today. I'm just going to take care of myself. Body, what do you need? And so, do you want to do that with me? I challenge you to, instead of going on, what's wrong with me? What am I going through? What's happening? What's going on in the ether? Instead of looking that way, look in here. Look in here. Ask your body and being, what is this? What do you require right now? What could I be, know, and do for you right now? What would be the highest contribution for ourselves right now in this day? And just to know that you're enough right here, right now, even if your energy's a little low, even if you're tired. And traditionally, along this time in the Northern Hemisphere, it is a time of energy kind of going in and it's contracting, and it's kind of cave time, usually. I usually feel that. And it's challenging because everything during these holiday times is wanting us to be social and expand. So it's tough having the energy of this, and you're supposed to be this, and maybe we're getting into this messaging of, oh, I'm not enough, I can't show up enough, I can't, I'm not enough. Been there. Let me know in the comments if you've been there. So, beautiful being, let's try something different. Okay, yes, energy is high. Yes, there's a portal open. Yes, we're on a trajectory, a lot of lunar eclipses. Yes, we're in the time of the Great Awakening. And my message to you is that every day during this Great Awakening, there's some energy at play that will be affecting you. So let go of knowing all the stories around that. I challenge you not to be seduced by every energetic, spiritual, vibrational story. And go in here every day, every hour. Body and being. What is this? What do you need right now? What would contribute to you most? And, you start your day with meditation and with an affirmation that you are living in the light and you are raising your vibration and whatever that takes. And so when you set your life with that intention, then you know that if you are feeling tired, that this is just part of the journey, that you're just integrating energy. That's all. It's as far as the story you need, really. So would you be willing to go within? Okay, and stop having someone else out here tell you the cause and effect of your life. Maybe? Let's see what happens. And if you could use some support through this, so God knows I've had so much support in my life through different energy workers and conscious teachers and yoga, and sometimes we just need support. Sometimes we just need some support to raise our vibration, or just to get us in the perspective, help us get into a perspective that gets us into our focused light again. So if you could use that support, again, go to my website, RebeccaAbraxas.com. Or I have a new program out called Vocal Toning for Manifesting. If you just really want some tools with vocal toning to help raise your vibration, give you some inner peace, see that link in my descriptions. It's Vocal Toning for Manifesting, and it's a new online course that you get to do just at your own pace. So if you could use some support, those are some things that can help you. And trust yourself. Go within. You got this. Thank you for being the light you are.